A shout out to Ge.Holla and
Hey, GeHolla, G.Holla.
GeHolla. Show me the God here, man.
All y'all said entertainer, shout out my guy Ge.Holla of My Celebrity Life.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody calling in, tuning in, and being a part of the process of the show right now while we're going through this quarantine and chilling. I hope that you're being safe out there with your family and that everything is working out in your favor right now. Hope you're getting plenty of rest, plenty of understanding, plenty of wisdom, plenty of peace. And if you're not, I hope it starts at this very moment, listening to this wonderful, this super cool show that we got going on right now. Today, I do have some wonderful co-hosts who is calling in today. But first, I believe I'm going to let on the wonderful, bloodless spoken Madam Sherelle. Is that you? Are you on the line with me right now?
Yes, Ge.Holla. Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing well. How you doing? How's your quarantine and chilling going?
It's going. How everybody else doing?
Everybody else should probably be doing well. I just want to ask you a few questions before we get started. Trying to see what's going on with your lovely friend, Kalenna Harper. So, tell me, Miss Bluntly Spoken, I'm going to make this about you for a few minutes. Tell me your story. Where are you from? So you weren't expecting that. So you thought you was going to come over here and ask some questions.
See.
Come on, okay. This hot too.
All right, now. So I'm originally from Florida, but I reside here in Georgia. Married, entrepreneur, self-employed, work at home, wife. Goodness. Listen, bluntly spoken herself is a lifestyle. So my life is bluntly spoken. Every day is like I'm waking up, I'm breathing, I'm sleeping, I'm eating it, everything. So, I mean, if you meet me in person, you be like, okay, that's fitting, that's her. So, I don't know. My background, youth minister. My mom was a preacher. She was a pastor, and she's in Atlanta, Georgia now. I have two sisters. I am a stepmom, but other than that, that's it with me. You put me on the spot, Ge.Holla.
It's all good, baby. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? You got to jump out into the frying pan. You know what I mean? Now tell me about this lovely, wonderful soul, this amazing spirit, Kalenna Harper. Give her a proper introduction, because I see that she's called onto the line. Come on, tell me about it.
When I met Kalenna, we was in high school, and she was this person so pretty much like me. You know, she was outspoken, very blunt. She speaks her mind. She say what she has to say, and that was her. Now, her voice, singing, people that knew me first and then met her through me, they used to be like, oh, my God, why are you around her? She's so loud. But I used to love to hear that girl sing. You hear me? Like, she can sing. And I introduced her to my family, and we ended up starting to go to my mom's church, and she was on the choir. We all used to sing together, and oh, my goodness, I used to love to hear her sing. Brandy and Monica back in the day, we used to, be at the house singing and stuff. She was a great friend of mine, and we kind of separated. Life separated us. In high school, I ended up moving to South Carolina in Aiken, and I'm not really sure where she went, but I know life took it off for her because I ended up seeing my friend again on Love and Hip Hop, and I about lost it, and we reconnected after that.
Absolutely. That is a beautiful tribute to a friend and a wonderful spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to welcome onto the line Kalenna Harper. This is an award-winning artist, a mother. 1/3 of the group, Diddy's Dirty Money, appeared on, like Sherelle said, Love and Hip Hop seasons 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please put your hands together for wonderful spirit, a divine connection in the universe who has materialized herself into the female gender, to the wonderful, beautiful, dark-skinned young lady goes by the name of Kalenna Harper. Welcome to the show. How you doing this afternoon?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing, sweetie?
What I'm talking about, I am hanging in there. What's good?
Yes. Girl, how you doing? How you doing? Look, I'm over here.
I'm sitting here listening, and I'm like, oh my God, that's real. I'm over here telling my husband, y'all, like, that's real. That's what I was telling you about. How y'all doing?
Yes. How you doing, love?
That's
wow,
right.
I got chills over here. Also, shouts out to Ge.Holla, man. My celebrity life, awesome, man.
For real, the dopest hookup.
Yes.
You know, I don't get to do interviews with my best people all the time. So thank God for that.
Ma'am. Yes, how you doing so far? What you got going on with all of this?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, you know, I'm in the house anyway because I have been doing my reprieve, just trying to get my mind together, just to reemerge, do some introductions to a lot of things that I was doing anyway. So it was kind of cool. I'm kind of used to being, on the low right now, on the bench, I say, watching the game. But then I was like, the whole of the game trying to get on the bench with me. What's going on? This is crazy out here. I thank God for all my nurse friends, for real, on the ground zero. It's crazy. I've been texting them and just, keeping them up in spirits because I know they're really tired and everything. But it's just insane to see this. You got to remember I graduated in 2000, y'all. So I'm like the beginning of the millennials. So I remember when like the Twin Towers fell, and I remember when my dad was like in Desert Storm War and stuff like that. So I've seen some crazy things, but nothing like this. We walking around with a 9/5 mask. This is crazy. This is crazy. So
it is.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's insane. Hello?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, don't.
Yeah, I
beautiful
didn't want to
time
cut you off.
No, it's cool, but a beautiful time to make music. I've just been thinking about, maybe putting some music out for the people. Probably a beautiful time to just, connect with them. The ones that are not running around with chickens, like chickens with their head cut off, and just to connect with what I'm trying to say and my message. It'll probably be a really beautiful time for us to drop. So look for us because we probably will be dropping something soon because that's what the team is talking about.
Please do. Come on, like Facebook miss you on live when you come on and you speak, and give messages to these young ladies and just, period, business-wise and, just striving out here to, go for their dreams. Like we miss you on that platform as well now. Come on.
Yeah, y'all, it's crazy. Sometimes, when you are in a position of how do I want to say it? When people are looking up to you, how about that? Let's keep it simple. When people are looking up to you, sometimes you gotta really sit back and ask God what the words are gonna be. Like, you know what I mean? To make sure that every word that you say is golden and every word is gonna be uplifting and every word means something. It ain't just all about, just the whole, TikTok and the get down and the Megan Thee Stallion, the swag stuff that we like to do. So, you know what I mean? I just didn't want to rush and get on there and talk about frivolous things. I wanted to make sure that I was, potent when I speak and I speak about things that meant something. Because Sherelle, she may not tell you, she told you like, what I call the surface things about how we met and what we did. But I mean, hanging out with Sherelle, just from our story and our journey, I learned so much about being a woman, from her mother and the things that we would talk about. We always talked about broad horizons, you know what I'm saying? So I just was like, you know what? I just want to sit back and, I love my husband. We had delivered hip-hop, and so that story was like so convoluted with things that weren't us for real. We were trying to re-image some of the things that we had already been through. We were trying to, let's replay this argument we did this time to try to show people what we've been through and how far we've come. But it just wasn't for us, because one thing I realized is when you tell a lie and you live a lie, it becomes the truth. So I just can't, you feel what I'm saying? So I couldn't keep, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, my husband coming in at 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, look, I already did that. I'm not going to do that when, you feel what I'm saying? We're not going to do this for real and get all over again. And my husband sure wasn't in the position. So he in the garage coming in the front door. You know what I mean? Walking out the garage, coming to the front door like he coming in at 10 o'clock in the morning. And now we got America thinking that that's what we doing, and that's not what we doing. We loving each other. We the Huxtables over here. You feel me?
Okay.
Straight
it's
up.
Real. It's real. It's
for
real.
Though my husband has 6 baby mamas and 7 children, when I met him, he was just in a place as a man that he was just tired of running. You know, he was tired of running. He was tired of, you know, choosing. He was tired of, he wasn't settling. So I thank God for that. You know, I thought that was a strength in him. Y'all got to talk to him one day, because it was just like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm making babies with these women and, you know what I mean, I'm just not caring. He took care of all of his kids, but it was just like, I'm not going to settle with a woman that God didn't make for me based on my child. So I appreciated that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will just say, well, you know, I did it, I'm settled, and they're unhappy. And, you know, the kids ain't really happy, you know. Wife ain't really happy. House ain't really happy. Home ain't happy, you know. So, you know, he was a different person. So I really wanted to show people, like, where I came from, but I wasn't able to do that on that show. That show was just like, you know, they wanted to see us fighting. You know, I don't even know how me and Rashida came to where we came, because I was just a songwriter for Rashida. I was writing Rashida's songs, and we were really good friends, and she gave me some advice about having my baby and not, you know, because we was bumping into each other doing shows, y'all, you know. So she have your baby, forget this music industry stuff, you know, do your thing. And I'm sitting there like, how are we fighting on the show? But anything for, you know, fame for some people. I'm sorry, I'm not selling my soul or my integrity. So, you know, I just started working on my album, and I just had a new baby, thank God, January 5th.
Congrats.
We had our 4th baby. Thank you so much. Can't have no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to kill myself. But it was trying. It was crazy. You know. So I just took a minute to do some real stuff. You know, cut the grass. You know, fold some sheets up. You know, do some real people stuff. You feel me?
Yes, ma'am. You know I do, girl. You know I understand your love language and how you speak. So I understand. I promise. It's so dope to even have you here on the show. I spoke it, and here we are. You understand what I'm saying, girl?
Is that crazy? That is so crazy to me. That's so crazy to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm here to answer any of y'all questions, whatever y'all got.
Yes, please.
Y'all want to talk about?
Hey,
because I'm an open book. We could talk about it all.
Let's go. Hey, I don't even, like, you covered my most, because I'm ready to hear you on the platform singing again. So you pretty much covered what I wanted to get from you, but I want the world or whoever there that want to speak to you and share this opportunity, because you know I always shared you, girl.
I love you so much.
I love you too, man.
I love you so much.
Sherelle, we'll be back with you in just one moment. I do have some more people that have called in onto the line. Stevie Bricks, she represents Passion Magazine, as well as the Stevie Pop Off. Stevie Bricks, as soon as you hit the unmute, you'll be on the line with the lovely, amazing, and wonderful Kalenna Harper. Come on in and ask some questions.
Good afternoon, Chief. Good afternoon, Papa. Good afternoon, all other hosts on this line. How y'all doing today?
Fine. How are you, baby?
I'm good. But let me tell you something. This is turning into an HHS reunion, because I'm class of 2000. So we got to represent our revelation.
Let's go.
I'm about to Red and Black, right? Okay.
That's right. Come on, let's go. I love that.
Yes.
Okay, now.
You know, a lot of amazing, outstanding people came out of Hepzibah High School.
Yes, they did.
So when I found out, like, you know, you were a few years behind me, you know, we might have crossed paths. I'm not really sure. But
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you probably know some of my family that were behind me, because I had a lot of cousins that go to HHS too.
Oh, but, Lord, okay.
Ain't no telling, child. But how did that whole journey with you ending up in Diddy's Dirty Money come about? Because let me tell you something. Before I got this iPhone, hello, good morning was my wake-up alarm.
Let's go. Let's
that
go.
was my right there. Like, I'm going back to Android just so I can get my wake-up call.
I love you so much. You know what's so crazy though is I always knew my calling, so I don't care who didn't like it. I don't care who wasn't understanding of the situation. I knew I wanted to sing. I ran track, I played ball, I did all the extra stuff, but those were extracurricular to me. I wanted to be in a place where I could buy my mama a house. I wanted to be in a place where I could show my daddy that I could be a soldier too. I wanted to do things that were just like unheard of. So in church, let me talk about it like from this perspective. When my grandmother was an evangelist, right? And so I grew up in the church. My father was a Muslim though, and my mother is a devout Christian. So we spoke in tongues and we spoke Arabic. You really? So it was just like one of those things that I believed that I could do anything that I put my mind to. There was nothing that I didn't think I could do. And so when it came to singing, I wasn't only good at it, but I loved it. And I knew that if I loved something, that was the only thing I wanted to do. I mean, I would sit in my room alone, though I hung out with, Sherelle at times when we were going to church, and I would hang out with them, but I was really a loner. I had my book bag full of snacks, I had a notebook, and I had a pen and a pad, and I would just express my thoughts, my innermost on that paper. And then the melodies just started coming. And so by the time I came to Maryland, because I left Hephzibah my 12th grade year, and that was devastating to me because that was all I knew. I was there. I was at Hephzibah from 9th grade. I mean, even though I went to Richmond, but Hephzibah was my home, and I was just like, I can't walk with nobody else. So we went to Maryland, and from Maryland, I got in the studio. As soon as we touched down, my dad had for me to work out of with this guy named Buddy, and it was just crazy ironic. Before we left Hephzibah, I was in this group called Sidekick with this girl named Regina and this other girl named Tasha, and we were in this daggone group, and I was the writer. They could sing. We was cool. One was cute. They was all sexy. They was chasing boys. I ain't had time. You feel me? Like, I had this body up underneath these clothes, girl. I ain't know nothing about that. I ain't have time. I just wanted to sing and do music. So when we got to Maryland, Buddy just was teaching me, like, the actual process of recording. So, even though I was, like, in my last year of school, like that last half, stretch, I was doing half-a-days. So I would take 2, 3, 4 days out of the week, go to the studio, kill, and I would come back to school, Sherelle, and be playing all my stuff. What you talking about? I'd be playing all my stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I would be killing, you know what I'm saying, and showing everybody, you know what I'm saying, like, what I did. So people would be like, you're really good at this, so you should keep going. And before I knew it, I'm talking about a year after high school, 2 years after high school, I'm working with Drew Hill, NSYNC, Christina Milian, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just crazy. It just kind of took off. Rich Harrison. And then my first placement was with Christina Milian. Def Jam bought this song called Peanut Butter and Jelly. And now it was just like my dad was like, you backdoor the game. Like, be like a Missy Elliott, write and produce. That's what you do, because at the time, you got to remember, we graduated in 2000, so that was A. Marie, that was Christina Milian, those girls that looked like that. So they were looking for girls that didn't look like me, They were looking for a specific look. So even though people knew I was talented and maybe had a little something going on, that wasn't what they were looking for. They were looking for a light-skinned, ethnic, mixed, you know what I mean? Gorgeous.
That exotic, man.
Exotic, and that's what they were looking for. And so it kind of left me in a position to just be like a writer-producer, but it was cool because that was the Trump position. And so when I came down to Atlanta, I was writing for 2 little light-skinned twin girls, and they couldn't sing as well as I could. So every time I was in the studio, people would be like, yo, why isn't she the artist. You know what I'm saying? And so the president of the guy who brought me down to Atlanta, he signed me. He was the first person to break bread. Mood Swing Productions. Shout out to Gizzo Smith. Like, you know what I mean? He gave me, like, my first piece of bread, my first chunk of change. Like, I was rich at 21 years old because he was ready to break bread, and he did that. So my life changed then. And so by the time I was maybe, 24, 25, 26, I was in the industry hard. I was writing for Fantasia, Aretha Franklin, you know what I mean? I was writing for Sierra. I was writing for 3-6 Mafia, Slim Thug. I was writing for, like it was getting crazy, My catalog started getting deep. So I was like, thank God for that. And then I got signed. I got signed to my major deal in at 2007. I was about 26. And it was my first deal based on a lot of things. I was in love with my husband. I met him at 22. And so my first deal that I had got dropped, girl, because they didn't want me to be in love, girl. They was like, you can't have no husband. You can't have no boyfriend. You can't do that. And I'm like, this is crazy. I can't have no protection. I can't have no shield. No happiness. Right. And I speak love language. That's my language. So it was just like, I did what God wanted me to do. And my sister had just died, so I had a baby. Like I said, 24, had a baby, did all of that stuff, and then came right back despite what they said, despite what everybody thought. Oh, she done killed her career. She with this nigga. She this. And I came back and killed it. Got my first jumbo deal with EMI / on ATV now. And I want to say the first month I went in with Rodney Jerkins. We had 27 songs placed. That was insane. Like, who goes in with Rodney Jerkins and do that? But it was because I loved what I did, and I was serious about it. So we did that, and then the president of EMI comes to my session. They don't do that, sis. They don't come to people's sessions. So he come to my session and he say, hey, yo, let me ask you a question. You'll be willing to work with Puff? Secretly, I'm like, that nigga's my hero. Would I be willing to work with Puff? Are you serious? Yeah, hell yeah. So he was like, yo, he was okay. So he's like, yo, he's working on an album. You should go over there and rock with him. Well, usually people don't work on Sundays in the industry. You feel me? Especially people on that level. And so I'm like, it's Saturday, so maybe it'll be about Tuesday, I'll get all my jitters out my stomach and I won't be no groupie. He like, yeah, so tomorrow. So I'm like, tomorrow when? He like, tomorrow. You gonna go over there tomorrow? I'm like, oh, shit. All right, cool. So he said, I'm going to send you the address, everything. So we made it a big fiasco, you know what I mean? Like, he showed up and a couple other people, and my husband was with me every step of the way. Every step of the way, my husband was my manager, and he still is today, thank God. So we get to Puff House, and Puff House is sick, sis. I'm talking about, you see, like, the infinity pool. He got TVs in the water. He got a dolphin. I'm talking about, I'm like, yo. I'm like, this is shit I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, when I get down there, and, he's got his little assistants running around, about 13 of them. One of them walk up to me, and they like, excuse me, but you got to take your shoes off. I was like, no problem, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nuts, take my shoes off. At the time, I got pink and purple hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm fly. You know what I mean? I'm fly. Like New York girl fly, My husband handsome already. So we walk in, we smell good, looking good, whatever. So when I get in the studio, that's like in his third house that's connected to the mansion. It's insane. It's like a freaking maze. So we get down there, and they playing this beat. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the hell is this? This shit is crazy. So I'm like rushing, and Tony's like, wait for me. And I'm like, I'm trying to get in the studio to see what's going on, So I get in there, and the engineer's at the board, and I'm like, can you do me a favor? can you play that over? I introduced myself, and he's playing the beat over. So all of a sudden, I'm just in there vibing to the music because I'm like, it just was something just like soul-wrenching from the music that just had me caught up. All of a sudden, I look to my right, and Puff is in his drawers, like, you like this record? Running towards me. I'm like, yeah, I love this record. This is crazy. So we just popped off like instantly. It was like, no, hey, Kalenna, hey, Puff. It was none of that. It was like we just jumped right into the craft. And so he asked me what I would do to it. I sang him a couple melodies. He was like, yeah, I don't want her to go nowhere. So I stayed there for like a month and a half. And I was killing shit. I was just like murdering, like doing stuff that he didn't think women could do, you know? And so I'm on my way leaving, sis, and I'm like, whoever's going to be in this group is going to be lucky. Whoever sits next to Puff is going to be lucky. This is so crazy. I'm listening to the songs, and I'm listening to what they about to do. I'm like, they're going to make history. This is crazy. Puff, who you using? You're like, I don't know. You brushing your teeth one more. I don't know who I'm using. I'm like, well, I'm leaving tonight. It was such a pleasure. I love you. Nah, I ain't leave. He called me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my way to the studio. He like, I know this is not proper protocol. I was supposed to talk to your manager, but I need you in my group. I need you beside me. I need your energy. Like the way you love God, the way you do everything, I need that. And so from there, it was just history, man, you know. Treated me like a princess. Yes. You know, I can't ask God for nothing else. Like all my prayers were just answered. You know, it was just crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. Y'all was a
crazy
trio, man. That when that came out, when Dirty Money came out, oh my God, that was the dopest thing I ever heard. I used to rock that all the time. I swear to God.
Man,
that was like,
I'm talking about.
Like,
I thought it was the dopest shit too.
Yeah, y'all was. That was pretty dope. You wouldn't see nobody doing stuff like that. Like you had the two females, you had Disney rapping, singing, and it was just on point.
Yeah.
Like, but then you always.
He was. I'm gonna tell you some inside stuff though. For real, I think that Puff was it was different from what he had ever done. You know, when we were doing the group, you know, we were looking at, like, say, for instance, like when you're doing anything, any project, you know, the best thing that you could do is study while you're doing it. So you study people that have broke molds. You study people who's done interviews that, you know, where they had to explain what they were doing, but they were confident in what they were doing. So we were looking at like Nina Simone when she was breaking the mold. We were looking at the Eagles. We were looking at so many people, and what Puff wanted to do was he was like, I want to be rock stars, you know? I want us to be like a band, like a rock star band. Like, everybody's a star in the group, but I want us to be rock stars. And I think that a combination of the people that were around him that were afraid of two black girls being next to him, because secretly they were asking, why can't you be in a group with Cassie and Christina Milian? Why you got to use Dawn and Kalenna? You see what I'm saying? And then Puff will be like, hold on, we like 3 black superheroes, you know what I mean? Brown skinned superheroes, you know? And he was trying to really support his dream, the thought and what he wanted to do, sis, but the label did not understand it. The records were crazy, but they just didn't get it. And I'm talking about, we had like Ray J, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne. I mean, all of them were on the project, but secretly they were like, this is the shit. Y'all are the shit. I'm talking about, we were hitting red carpets, guys, and the men in Hollywood were going crazy. They had never seen me, so they were going crazy, like, oh my God, who is this beautiful chocolate woman? You know what I mean? Because it was different. We were different. We weren't the light skin, hit the, you know, carpet, butt naked freeze. It was like these girls really dressing. Hold on, that's Giuseppe. Oh, what they wearing? What? What? That's Proenza? A black girl wearing Proenza shoulder? Like, we was killing it, you know. And so they were really excited, and they just didn't get it, sis. And I think that when it came to really pushing the, like, promotion dollars, they started pulling back because they were scared of these two black girls. But really, we were killing it. We were overseas. They were falling in love with us. And Puff called me one Thanksgiving, sis. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he called me one Thanksgiving, like a year after, like that 6 months after the tour. And he's like, I didn't know so many people was digging us. And it was disheartening because it was like, you were really on to something. You were on to that next level of bad boy, where you were going to get a flood of new artists too. Like, you were about to make yourself anew. Like, all of those bad rumors that people had about Puff, he could have, like, just eradicated all of that by having Dirty Money. You know what I'm saying? Because he was treating us like princesses. You know, I didn't trip about money. He paid me when I needed to be paid and when I wanted to be paid at times. You know, he paid me, you know, and it was no tug of war. He was just in a different place as a man, and that's what was beautiful for me. It wasn't young people just sleeping with every and anybody and just not, you know, respecting God himself, his mama. He was his idea of woman, and that's what was so sanctive about, you know what I'm saying, the group. And I was just so sad when that thing was over, y'all. I was depressed for like a year.
Yeah, that was the sad part. Like, I don't know what happened, but a lot of people say, you know, that's that bad boy curse. Not too many artists come out and stick around for long. Look at Danity Kane. Look at oh my God, when the band came out, I used to love the band too. Like,
right.
Do you think that's true? Like, when Diddy brings out artists, it's never meant to be long term.
You know what? I want to say this. I think that, and I'm being honest because that's all I know how to do. And it was crazy because they had a long running joke, y'all. We would do like Chelsea Lazy or something, and he'd be like, Dawn, you answer all the questions because Kalenna don't know how to laugh out loud. But, you know, you have to know how to do it glamorously, right? But I'm going to say this. I think that with Puff, he has agendas. He is a business. He's a very shrewd businessman, but he has agendas, and meaning his agenda and his goal was to make Ciroc big with Dirty Money. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so while Dirty Money was pushing, Ciroc was going. You know, listen, I will not lie to you. We were at every Ciroc event there was. You know what I'm saying? Dirty Money was, and he knows how to. He knows how to make those promotion dollars, those dollars from different companies, you know what I'm saying, work. He knows how to make it work for himself. Whether we did 21 videos for the album. Who does that? But a lot of that was because it was promotion dollars from other companies, you know? And so he is a businessman at the core. And I think, and I want to say this, anybody who deals with Puff, I think it's very easy to get caught up in his life. Thank God I didn't have to. You understand? So you remember, I was a writer and a producer already. I was already working with artists. You dig what I'm saying? My portfolio was already that. So I didn't try out for the group like Dawn did. Dawn wasn't a writer and a producer when she met Puff. You see? She was singing background for Anthony Hamilton. So her journey is her journey. I'm sure that y'all would love to talk to her about that. I'm not going to tell you her journey, but our journeys were different. And so I thank God I didn't walk in and have to take anything that he was giving me based on me not having anything else to fall back on. You see, I was still placing records while I was in Dirty Money. I was placing records on Christina Aguilera and, you know, Britney Spears while I was in Dirty Money, you know. So it was just you know, for some people it could be alarming because you get caught up in wearing the chains and the leather jackets, and you know he got, you know, apartments full of clothes and different looks, and he got makeup artists that do the president and they're doing your face, so you get caught up in a lifestyle that's not your own. That's what happened. And then when you got to go back to your household and cut the grass and you forgot this toilet don't flush and you forgot, you know what I'm saying? And you forgot to call an exterminator and get the roaches out your house, you know, and my ceiling ain't as high, you know, you feel like, damn, this nigga did me dirty, but really he didn't. You were supposed to be handling your business in that situation because caught up going to Cabo and riding the yachts and living this lifestyle with Puff, and then you go back to your own and then you say that nigga didn't do shit for me.
Mhm. You're right. Just like that little Mace escapade or, you know, scandal that was going on, saying that Diddy didn't pay him his money and still owe him. You know, I think that could be separate.
I'm
going to
say this. With that, and with that situation, I don't know if you know, but Mace got his money. Mace ran off with his money a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, he owed Puff for real. You know what I mean? And then he made his money being a fake pastor. So, come on, man.
That's a whole different topic, right?
I ain't saying nothing. Listen, you can't play with God. You ain't gonna play with my Jesus.
No, you can't play with God. No, I was like, that's something different. But we're gonna move on from that one. So we touched on Love and Hip Hop for a little bit. Everybody, Love and Hip Hop is such a major franchise in the reality TV world right now. Which you got your New York, you got Atlanta, you got Miami, you know, you got LA. So, you know, everybody know that things are a little bit, when you say reality TV, it's not really real. And we already talked about a little bit with your situation. Let's talk about a little bit more about some other fake news that's going on in Love and Hip Hop, like that you may have experienced. Like, they just come to you and want you to start fights, or what's real and what's not. Tell me a big story on Love and Hip Hop that's just like, what? I can't believe you agreed to.
Okay, like the Miss Deb story, the Miss Deb shit. Like I don't know where that came from. When I say I was blindsided, if you ever have an opportunity to go back and look at that scene with me and Miss Deb in that office, I was making faces like, what? Huh? Like, because I had no clue what was going on. Me and Miss Deb had just met, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people were looking for storylines. A lot of people don't have a lot of that grandeur shit going on in their lives, not their everyday lives. How many niggas you know really got 17 bitches that they fucking with? They can't do, I mean, like, I'm talking about fluently. I'm talking about like fluently, not like, yeah, he got 17 and he do mess with a lot of chicks, but somebody not gonna get seen for a month or two. Like they show you all Love and Hip Hop like it's fluent, like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I do every day, you know, and that's not how life really is. So I remember meeting Miss Deb the very first time, and you know, I think they were all looking at, like I said, they were all looking at me like maybe I could be somebody they could chew on, like a chew toy, and maybe I was just like the softer one in the group that they could step on to get a storyline, or they could try to make something out of, you know, me, or push me to fight or do whatever, you know, like, you know, I'm telling Ms. Deb, like, what's really going on in my life, what's really going on in my head. I really took a break, you know, I really needed advice at that time, and she gave me that advice. And then the second time we meet, I'm like, it's business. We're not just talking personal. We ain't eating cupcakes. We're at your office. And so she just switched on me like, you know, you were just crying, asking me to be a manager, and I was like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't asking you to do nothing. I'm now talking to you about it, but before I was talking about how me and my husband was going through it a little bit, and, you know, life was a little strange, but it was crazy because my husband was still my manager the whole time. He never stopped being my manager. We never, you know, signed, like, ripped up our contract or anything like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It was very much like, you know, we trying to make a storyline so we can all eat. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to Ms. Deb. I'm talking to Ms. Deb. I'm talking to the Tammys. I'm talking to Rashida so we can all eat. You know what I'm saying? We all, like, yo, let's keep it. It's almost like when the cameras go off, all right, girl, what we, you know, behind the producer's back, like, what are we doing so we can all eat, yo? Because, you know, we trying to come up. But for some reason, they didn't want to let me in that Atlanta circle, like that whole, you know, they older than me too. You know, I graduated in 2000. Remember that. And Rashida, she continues trying to make it seem like me and her the same age. I'm like, no, we not. I'm not 40 something, yo. Like I graduated in 2000. I got proof, B. Like, you know.
Right.
So she, you know, you know what I mean. She always be trying to be like, you know, you 40 something, and that. I'm like, no, I'm not, but so you know. But anyway, it was just like, you know, just that whole Tammy shit too. Like, you know, I was like put on the spot with that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, yeah. So right when I'm filming, I just had Noah. When I say just had Noah, I was like 2 weeks postpartum, guys. You know what I mean? So I can't fight. You know what I mean? It ain't going to be no fight. So it was supposed to be like this big old Tammy come in and chuck me down about talking to her mother, but you disrespecting Miss Deb. Like, and I'm talking business with Miss Deb. I asked Miss Deb, I said, I told her everything that was going on in my career, and I said, what can you do with that? Like, can you do something with this right now? What can you do with my career from where it is? And she took that like I was asking her what she could do with my career. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this ghetto shit. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm dealing with Chinese, Koreans, Asians, and white people and Jews, and I got to deal with this ghetto ass.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I definitely remember. And that was taken way out of proportion. So I definitely dig that and all the other with the way things are going and loving it. I mean, you know, everybody got to realize this is all.
I'm so sorry. I had you on hold.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just like, I'm sorry, y'all. I had y'all on hold. But, you know, I'm just trying to figure out, like, where all of the hostility was coming from. So it was a lot of stuff that Miss Deb, that was just cranked out on me. What else was cranked out on me, y'all? It was a lot of times I was like, huh? That Rashida sit down when she was like, well, what you crying for? And I'm like, because I want to punch you in the face because you fucking fronting for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Because you fucking fronting for the camera. You know, stop fronting for the camera. You know, and it was just like, it was just so, I can't do it, y'all. I'm not that girl. I thank God that I'm just like, you know, it didn't matter where I was at in my career. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm on the grandeur now. Like I said, Chelsea, lately, if we on there going Jimmy Fallon, it don't matter. I'm always Kalenna, and I thank God for being comfortable with that. But it's just like, yeah, that reality show stuff, if you're not on the right reality show that can project your life the way it is or better, it don't make no sense. It's just like, you know, we walking through the airport and I got people telling my husband, you better treat her right. And he pulling all the bags. You know what I'm saying? He pulling all the bags and, you know, he got the baby in the other arm and I'm daggone on my phone, social media, and, you know.
They did try to make the husband seem like he wasn't, which I didn't like either. Like, you know, they want to depict everyone in a certain light. And I'm like, you know, that can't be right. But
it can't be right. It can't be right. So that's why I did 3 and 4, baby. I ain't do 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, 11, 12.
We miss you on it, though. I ain't going to lie. I miss you. You was like one of my favorites. You was definitely one of my fan favorites on there.
I appreciate that so much. I appreciate it.
But let's go back. Me and G were talking about yesterday. You know, we AUG, we HHS. I said, G, you know what? You got some information you need to do. Instead of that, you remember the Mayfest in Augusta back in the day, right?
Oh, all day. All day.
All day. It's popping right now. Where they want to have it in freaking May Park when it's sweltering out there. I said, G, you need to have a G-Fest. Miss Kalenna Harper, pop up the G-Fest.
I would love that. You hear me? Like, just the whole idea of coming back home. I would love that. I would love to come and sing in front of all my people, my new music, and just, like, you know, just to see, like, all of the Augusta changes, because I know it's not the same from what it was in 2000. You know what I mean? So I just thank God for, like, you know, being where I am, coming so far, but still having all that love in AUG. What? I'm just excited that I'm on the phone with y'all. It's crazy. It's just like,
I think you would be amazing for that to bring it back home, because we got so many talent in Augusta. Like, you're you're also an artist. Would you ever think about managing and mentoring other artists? And
say it one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, babe.
I said you're an artist, you're a songwriter, you have many connections. Would you think about coming back home and mentoring other artists and managing them and maybe, uplifting them?
Absolutely. I think I'm in a place in my career where I'm about to drop, new music, and right before coronavirus, COVID-19, like Dirty Money was about to go back on tour. So just look for that, y'all. That's an exciting thing that is going to happen. Right, we are going to go back on tour. So we were talking about that and just doing, a lot of exciting things. So a lot of those things got canceled. So in the midst of me doing all of that, hurrah, of course, I would love to come back and do some seminars and just keep it real with people, because I think that people think it's so easy to get into this industry. Like, I was talking to a young lady last night, guys, and it was just like, she was telling me, like, well, if it was me and I had an opportunity to be on Love and Hip Hop, or I had an opportunity to be in this industry, I would do it, and I don't care, because, MF is going to talk anyway, and yada-da-da-da, but people really don't understand what comes with this. Like, a lot of people who say, oh, I can't stand Kim Kardashian, she just got it easy, and it's not easy to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get your makeup done. It is not easy to squeeze into clothes that you can't breathe in. It's not easy to walk in them shoes and to pose a certain way and to hold babies in those shoes. It's not easy. It's not easy to do 9 photo shoots in one day. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting there looking at somebody, you looking at, hello? I don't like the popo. The popo just passed me. I'm sorry. I got my heart dropped. Laugh out loud. Anyway, I'm so funny. But no, it was just like, I just was letting her know, like, when you have your morality, and then you have people like Augusta, y'all looking at me. Y'all look at me as a representation, a representative for Augusta, a representative for who y'all know. So if I go out here and I'm just do any and everything for $1, y'all gonna feel some type of way, like she just do anything for $1. She a clown, or I don't want to be known as that. You know what I mean? So like I told her, I said it's all about what you represent. But if you got your cousins calling you like, I hated your hair, I hated that you had that sex tape out, I hate that you dating this little dude, and then you got your mom and daddy saying you're a disgrace and an embarrassment to the family, like you ain't chasing that almighty dollar like that. So I would love to be able to get into artists, writers, producers, people that want to be celebrities. I would love to get into their heads and kind of be like a mentor mom to let them know that, you got to be super tough. Super duper tough, because it's not the people that ain't off stage that can't do this industry. It's the people that's on stage that get caught up in the lights. You know what I'm saying? It's like a deer, in the middle of the woods and getting caught up in the headlights. That's usually how people that have fame get caught, and that's how people rape you with your money, steal your money. That's how people get you caught out there, daggone doing things that you don't want nobody to know. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
absolutely.
You feel me? You feel me? It's just it's intense. So I would love to come back and really have, even if it was some annual, pre-annual, whatever we came up with. Well, I came home, at a certain time every year, and talk to the girls and the guys, you know what I mean? Not just women, but guys too, and we make a thing of it. My husband he's very smart. He's very literate on a lot of different subjects, you know what I mean? Very collegiate, very hood, grew up in the projects in Boston. He's all those things, but he's very relatable, and I tell him, I said that knowledge he got, he should share it. So maybe y'all get that from us. That'll be beautiful.
That will be beautiful. So class of 2000, 20-year reunion coming up. You going to the high school reunion?
You know what, y'all? I ain't been to one reunion yet.
Matter of fact.
You know what?
It goes down this year.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say one thing. I just want y'all to hear me out on this, right? That was one of the reasons why I just was like, I needed to take a break and I needed to reprieve, because, when you're grinding and hustling and traveling as much as I was doing, you miss out on all the good stuff. You know, your baby might start walking while you're in France. You know, somebody might pass away and you can't make it to the funeral because you working. You know, you doing a photo shoot, or, you know, it just was a lot of little things like, you know, that were happening, and you can't get them back. You know, and so I was just like, I just wanted to create some balance. You know, people really, and I just wanted to say that to y'all too. How about I just putting it in y'all spirits to know that it's great to hustle. It is great to grind. That is the most beautiful thing in the world. But while we have this moment to sit at home and really take advantage of the idea of creating balance for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do at 6 o'clock in the morning? Am I asleep? Do I get up at 1? When I get up at 1, what do I do? You know what I mean? Who am I doing it for? What are my kids doing? How am I giving to them? How am I pouring into them? Like, everything kind of has to be scheduled in order for you to balance. But, you know, everything ain't just the grind, because then you'll be running around like a chicken with your head completely off. And I just couldn't do that anymore, you know. And my kids are like, Mom, you know, well, you can't come to my award show, Mom, you know, or I'm on Love and Hip Hop and my kids getting jumped and my kids are fighting 3 and 4 people, you know what I'm saying, at one time, and they babies because they like, oh, you know, you rich and you just a little brat, but my kids is throwing hands, you know what I'm saying, like, hold up, you know, and black and kids' eyes. I just, you know, I'm just saying, really take time to focus on your dream, love what you do. Don't just do it for $1, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, make sure you create balance. Like, still go to your friends' weddings, still go to funerals, still go to graduations. I didn't do that. And, you know, I thank God for seeing that whole hustle with, like, my blinders on, and I was really focused. And I came really far, guys, don't get me wrong, but I missed out on a lot of stuff, like my dad going class reunion. And I know niggas is getting old because I be seeing y'all on Facebook laugh out loud. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
You want to grind. But let me wrap it up. I took a lot of time, but if you don't mind, I would like to, you know, I have Passion Magazine. It's a local magazine. I'm currently in Savannah, Georgia right now. I would love to go with you, get a questionnaire. Do you get my artist spotlight on you? And maybe, you know, we can go from there.
I would love that. Hit my DM, sis, and, you know, give me all your information. I'll send you mine. And yeah, like, we could just, you know, keep in contact. Anything you have coming up, anything I have coming up, we can correlate.
All right, I love you for that. I would definitely hit you up on Instagram. I'm CV Briggs on Instagram, so I would definitely hit you up. Thank you so much for your time.
Love you back.
I'm so
You're welcome,
proud
Mama.
of you, and I can't wait to hear more stuff from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate you, Stevie Briggs. Put you on hold for one moment. We're going to let Sherelle back on before we get up out of here. Sherelle, would you like to say anything else to your beautiful friend?
Yes, Kalenna, girl. Thank you so much up there spilling all the tea, the juicy tea, the good tea, just letting the world know the truth. Because if you don't want the truth, keep it moving. Like we always say, you don't want the truth, we stand on the truth for real. I want to say thank you, girl.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Ma'am.
I appreciate it so much,
Thank
man.
you for coming on My Celebrity, yes.
What? I'm talking about made my day. Made my day.
Yes,
made my day. Anything else y'all want to know? Y'all know I bought all the teas. The teas was $26, so I tell nothing but the truth. All the tell is the truth.
You better. I would just want to tell you thank you, and I love you, girl. You know I'll be in touch.
I love you, too. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. G, you've been quiet, man. You ain't got no questions for the guys? You've been quiet over there. You can't tell me you ain't got no questions.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of questions, but I'm going to have to have you back on a little bit later because I got another interview I got to do in a minute.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. God is good. That's what's up. Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Cool.
And I'm definitely serious. I really want to have you back on either before or after your tour so we can talk more about your life and your spirituality and writing skills and things of that nature. But before I let you go, may I please ask of you, could you please give me a drop? The name of the show is called MycelebrityLife, and I'm Ge.Holla.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Yo. This is your girl, Kalenna, and I'm chilling with My Celebrity Life. and GeHolla.
Thank you so much. Please be of the peace. Please stay upon your square and continue to shine your light. And we're going to have you back on very, very soon. And it was a pleasure just listening to your story. You are amazing spirit.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. And you guys look out for that project because I'm going to be dropping it soon. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, The Real Kalenna. You know what I'm saying? Everything is, all of my handles are The Real Kalenna, all of my social media. So make sure y'all look for me and just, keep me in prayer. You hear me? Of the good stuff, the positive stuff. Keep me, just keep me held up, raised up, high as you can hold me.
Absolutely.
Right,
we certainly will.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Boo.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, we're out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. I go by the name of Ge.Holla. It's not Gula, not Guala, not GeHolla, but Ge.Holla. You'll find this interview on GeHolla.com. I have my wonderful, amazing Sherelle, Miss Bluntly Spoken. Give us your social media before we get up out of here.
Hey, it's Miss Bluntly Spoken 5, but it's always Miss Bluntly Spoken. Y'all can catch me on any platform right there or www.bluntlyspokenspeaks.com. Thank you, Ge.Holla, my celebrity life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. LaShawn, Stevie Bricks, I'm sorry for calling your government name. Go ahead and give us a drop before we get up out of here.
Yes, you can always find me on Instagram, Stevie Bricks. That's SteviiBrixx. Also, podcast, The Pop Off of Stevie Bricks, coming soon. Follow me on YouTube and like and subscribe, Stevie Bricks.
All right, y'all. Build a square, build a light, stay upon your square, keep shining your light, keep being the salt of the earth and all those good things, and be safe out there. Wash your hands, man. I don't care if you think if it's fake, if it's a myth, if you're trying to expose the government, whatever the case may be, you just don't get caught up in the rapture. How about that? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please go to GeHolla.com. That's GeHolla.com. You will find the wonderful, the amazing Sherelle Jordan with Bluntly Spoken and the Pop Off with Stevie Bricks, Passion Magazine. Y'all shout out. Be safe and all that. And make sure if you're riding in Georgia, please be hands-free. You don't need to get pulled over. You need no tickets looking over your shoulder, going downtown, all of this type of things. You don't need all that. That being said, I am out. What did I say about this time? Holla, holla. We out. Peace.